Alright gang, welcome back to our vintage survival here on Szpakowo. I am in the process, well terribly, I'm in the process here of bringing back our brand new header for the harvester we purchased in the last episode. Love these little tracks on that thing. It actually sounds pretty cool too, but yeah, we're getting the other header back here for the time being. We're going to be kind of just dropping this off. They're just going to be kind of hanging out outside for a little bit here until we gain enough money for us to be able to put down some more sheds. But that's okay for the time being. They can just hang out right here. Now today is very similar to how it was yesterday, in the last episode. I was recording it yesterday, but in the last episode, where we are very, very busy, and we've got a lot to do. It's still August. We have plenty to do in August, so there was no reason to jump to the next month. We're going to start off here by putting the worker down in the field that we combined there at the end of the last episode, putting canola in, and then we'll probably put canola in this field over here to the right too, I think. And then once I get the worker started on that, I'm going to bring the skid steer over here. We're going to start picking up all these bales of straw. Now, for the time being, I'm actually just going to stage the straw bales over here in this vicinity, and eventually we will bring them back over to our hat production. But for now, I'm just going to get them kind of out of the way of the fields, and then we can pick them up at a later date, winter months, etc., right? And go worker go. Alright, so the worker's going. We'll jump into the MF here. We'll start staging all of those straw bales like I mentioned, and then we're going to start focusing a little bit on some of the fields over there. More than likely, I'm going to start with a worker beginning the process of plowing up a field, I think, while we're staging these bales, because it is going to take us a little bit of time to do that. As you saw, I can, if I'm lucky, get 3 bales on the front here of the skid steer, and it won't really get too top heavy as long as I don't bring it up in the air too high. So that will help a little bit, but we can at least get the worker going on plowing up some of the fields, because that'll certainly help with the periodic plowing that needs to happen to a couple of the fields. And even if not, you know, it's less things we have to spray, right? So that's overall a better situation. Let me see which ones actually need the periodic plowing. It's this one down here. Okay, so if we start on that one, that's probably a better bet, because I don't think any of the other ones need it right now. So I'm not going to worry about doing any of the other ones. Might as well just do the ones that need it, and then we can just kind of carry on going that approach, right? Now, there's a lot of bales here, and they might get partially in the way here for the worker, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get most of the ones out of the way before the worker really starts to run into them, because they're probably... maybe not. They're probably going to start down the middle. That's all right. We'll put it on a worker. We'll just see where we get to. And hopefully we can catch up to them and get the bales that are in the way out of the way for them. I guess that, or they're just going to push the bales out of the way, so that's fine too. We can get them. We can pick them up that way. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Rain is in the forecast. Was in the rain forecast technically for the last episode as well, since we were in the same month. Luckily, it did not rain on us when we were doing those harvests. That was the most important thing, was to get those done before the rain started, because with the rain started, we obviously can't harvest, or we're going to lose yield, and we didn't want to do that. We got to pick up the straw off of that field as well. And then really it's just a matter of us getting those fields drilled and then trying to get the fields prepped and ready to go for future drillings. Now that we have the ability to do sunflowers and corn, we have one cornfield. I'd like to put in a few more traditional sunflower fields. I'm not sure where those are going to go, but we're going to work to put some sunflower fields in as well here coming up. So really need to figure out a better approach for picking up these bales when they're out this far onto the field. Really what I need to do is find enough money to get some kind of a bale loader. But the problem is, the bale loaders that are in the game, at least, they're not cheap. They're very expensive. So, and not even that, I don't even think they're within the range of what we're trying to aim for here on this series, right? We're trying to keep it in the 1999 or older range. And I don't think that's out there on ModHub, at least not yet. So I'll have to go out and take a double check, or a triple check even. But I don't think there's anything out there. It looks like he pushed the bale over into the cornfield, but it's not too far in. We should be able to get it. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. Had, the time of this recording at least, I had Poker League the night before. Didn't do terrible, didn't do great. I had a decent chip stack. Ended up losing it all to an all-end, I don't know, probably a couple of people before we went to the final table. I probably should have just folded, but I had a piece, but I tried to do a bit of a bluff, and that guy ended up hitting 3 queens. He did not have a good hand. It's a guy that, you know, he's there every week. I know him very well, and he plays a little aggressive all the time, so honestly didn't think he had anything, but he woke up with 3 queens. He had like queen 4 or something. I don't know, a hand that you probably shouldn't be playing when I've raised it with ace-king suited off the bat. But anyway, it happens. You run into those type of people. There are those type of people. Sometimes I'm that type of person. Certainly, I've done it before. Other than that, man, pretty good. Things are pretty good. Try to push that back a little bit. I'm afraid these are going to fall off here. So we're just going to stage them over here by these bales, these white bales over here. Those are just kind of for looks anyway on the map, so there's really nothing that's going to ever be put there. So I don't think the neighbor's going to mind too much that I leave them here for a brief period of time. So that's what we're going to do. Hell, you never know. We might end up buying one of these fields back here. You know, for whatever it is we decide to put in there, right? There's a high probability that that could happen. So once we get this last bale up, I think, well, there might be 2 over there. I think it's just 1, though. Anyway, once we get this last bale, or these last 2 bales up, I'm going to start with picking up all the straw off the ground there and baling that up. And then at that point, it's literally just going to be a matter of us getting rid of the rest of the bales out of the way, and then we can take over for doing one of the jobs that we still have to do today. More than likely, it'll be probably the drilling job, I would think. But I guess it could be plowing too. Trying to figure out exactly, you know, what I want to do here at the fields, right? We got quite a number of fields here. We've got 1 canola field here. We're going to have 2 canola fields here now. Probably 3, like I said, with this T1. We're probably going to put canola in there. So in the rest of these fields, I have to kind of figure out. This one is our corn field, and that's always going to stay the corn field. That's not going to change. But I need to find some sunflower fields, and speaking of that, we are going to today as well, when we're done picking up the straw over here, we're going to kind of fix the little track here that I talked about in the last episode, and really multiple episodes before that. We're going to fix that track a little bit, and we're going to fix the fields a little bit. We're going to re-plow them, realign them, whatever you want to call it, zone them, I guess. I don't know, zone's not really the right word I'm looking for, but you get what I mean. I am way off. What am I doing here? I'm way off. All right. These are the last 2. We'll get these back, and then, like I said, we'll start the process here of picking up all the straw off the ground on the remaining field, and then it's a matter of getting the bales out of the way. So let's get to work. All right, well, that's all done. I had to do it in a bit of a opposite order there. The worker had not yet finished drilling the field, so I wanted to let that happen first. So I started picking up some of the bales first, and then we took care of doing the remainder of that. We've got a little bit of touch-up work here to do on this field. The worker did the whole field pretty much, but missed a few little spots, and I don't know why. I don't know if it has something to do with this plow. I assume it does, but for the reason the worker misses a couple spots from time to time with this thing, I don't really get it, but we'll just touch it up. It won't take us too long to do. Certainly we don't have to do all of it, but there's some bigger spots here that I want to try to clear out. But overall, not too bad, man. We got a lot done there. It was a long time lapse, but a lot was done, man. We drilled the T field here, as I like to call it. All of the bales have been staged, and the straw was picked up on that final field as well, and then the bales from that staged as well. So pretty productive, honestly. Now we don't have a ton of money to do what else I was trying to talk about doing, which was working on the expansion there, or well, not really an expansion, I guess, but kind of fixing up our track that we put in. Whoop, nope, get off a worker. Fixing up the track that we put in that goes to the backside there of the cornfield. Just an easier path for us to get into it, right? We're going to have to kind of figure out what we're going to do with this. I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to do what I want to do or not. We also are going to combine our largest field over here with this field as well. These two fields right here, we're going to combine these two fields. So I guess I can go ahead and do that right now while we kind of figure out next steps here on how we're going to fix this and make it look a little bit better and probably a little bit wider too. We kind of saw when I was doing it last time, when I was driving over here with the semi last time, that it is a bit of a tight squeeze, especially the turning radius is not the best there. There's not enough real room for us to do a turn. So we're probably going to expand it a little bit. I don't want to do anything crazy, but we'll probably expand it a little bit. The field I put, the track I put in on the field for a little bit of a shortcut to get to the shop, that's definitely probably way too big. We probably didn't need to make it as big as I did, but that's all right. So probably a little bit bigger than what it is now, but not as big as that one, hopefully. But that's the nice thing is we got the plow, so if I do screw something up, I can always just re-plow it. It's not that big of a deal. We're not going to be putting anything in the ground here today. We already did our canola fields here for August, and that's the three we're going to run with. I think probably for most of the time. I think those three are always going to be canola fields. This field that we're doing here, this big field we're expanding, I think this is going to be our sunflower field. And then the remainder of the fields will be your typical cereal type of crops, so wheat, oats, barley, whatever. Sorghum even, maybe. We do have a soybean field we need to sort out, though, and that's the next one I'm trying to figure out where I want to put soybeans. I'm thinking the soybeans will be this field. Like I said, sunflowers here, corn will stay here. These three will probably always be canola, I think. And then we've got some of these smaller ones here that we kind of need to figure out, right? And then, obviously, this stuff, we're going to hold off on doing that until next season, because I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with all this yet. We're going to be taking up probably some of that space, hopefully, once we're able to sell a bunch of the stuff that we've got, pallets, etc. But we'll have to see. Speaking of that, I need to jump into this, because I completely forgot to do it. The goats are not in good shape. I think they're out of water, so we need to get them some water. Probably the greenhouses probably could use some water as well, honestly. So before I forget, let's get the greenhouses taken care of. Not the greenhouses, the goats taken care of. Now this grass field is also ready to mow, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. We've got enough else going on, and the goats still have 3 bales of grass, so I'm not too concerned about them. Plus they have the meadow grass too, so not a big concern there. Means the greenhouses are still going, so they clearly still have water, so I'm not going to dump anything in there yet. Let's take care of the goats first here. because I do know they are out of water, and that means they are not producing goat milk for us. Now, we don't have a ton of goat milk, but we definitely want to keep the goat milk going here if we can. There you go, they're full. I didn't take any time at all. And that's just mostly because there's just not that much storage for the water there for them. Alright, we're just going to drop that there for the time being. We did fill those up a little bit, but they probably are going to need more than that. Yeah, a couple of them are really low on water, so we'll work on that probably in the next episode. This maybe that later on in this episode, but definitely in the next episode, if not today. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way, because we do need to move some of those pallets out of the way. The flour has stopped producing. I think I talked about that in the last episode. So we need to move that out of the way so we can continue to produce some stuff. So I think for the time being, since we've got such a big, massive, wide open area here, I'm going to put it over here. I've also been thinking about selling that Ford. I love the thing. I love the size of it and the old school approach of it, but I really haven't utilized it that much, and that's mostly because the attachment in the back doesn't really work for a lot of things we're currently using. I don't know why I drove all the way over here. That was pointless. It doesn't really work for all the things that we're trying to really do. So I'm considering getting rid of that and getting something else. Another tractor, but, with a different hitch on the back. Maybe I can go up there and look and see if I can modify the hitch at all. I don't know if I can, but maybe I can. Or maybe I should. So the reason why I was driving the Volvo up here really is because I kind of want to utilize it. I probably should have drove the semi, honestly, but I kind of want to utilize it as kind of a set piece here, so I know exactly, how wide I really should be making this. Because, there's enough room there. There's plenty of room, really, for the Volvo, but it kind of gives you a perspective of, how much room does it take, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to take this line and go straight down with it. So it's only going to expand it a little bit over here. And then we're going to take the plow and try to plow away a little bit of this, right, to kind of keep it in a straight line as much as we can. This is not going to be perfect. I already know that. I'm fully aware that it won't be. But that's my goal. So far, so good. That's exactly kind of what I'm looking for here. Now, I probably want to add a little bit of buffer to the right with some grass or whatever. But right now, let's just try to get this thing lined up properly, and then we can kind of go from there, right? Okay, so that's about as straight of a line as I can make that, I think. So I'm just going to fill this all in for right now. And then we're going to try to do a bit of the same thing over here. I just want to make this a little bit wider, so I don't want to go too crazy. I think here, if I'm able to go straight off of this line here, and then I can plow from this line this way. It's going to take a little bit of work. I'm going to have to obviously touch up after I'm done plowing too, because I'm sure I'm not going to get the plowing perfectly, but I just want to try to give myself the line that I'm looking for here as much as I can. A little bit over there, but not terrible. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so let's get into the John Deere here, and let's see if we can fix this a little bit. I'm going to move the Volvo out of the way. that should be enough, I think. Just looking at it from a distance here, it looks pretty decent. It went over just a little bit there, but that's okay. We can clean that up. All right, let's see. How's that look? Besides that one little spot that I went over a tiny bit. Oh, that's right on the money, man. That's where we want to be at. That's right on the money. Okay, so we can just touch this up real quick. No problem. No problem, no problem. That's perfect. Look at that. That is perfect. That is exactly what we were looking for. That is plenty. It's almost doubled the size of what we had before. Almost. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted right there. That is perfect. All right, just got to touch this little edge here, this little side edge here, and then we are going to be done with this section here. This is going to look really, really good now. I'm very, very happy with this, how this turned out. I think that's okay, but you know what? I better go over it. I better go over it just to make sure. But I think it's okay. Okay, perfect. Like I said, I probably want to add a little bit of grass on the edge there just to give ourselves a little bit of buffer room, but I think that is actually going to be fantastic. And let me take all this back. I'm going to jump into the semi. We're going to drive it out here. I should have just drove the semi out the first time, but I didn't for whatever reason. So I'm going to jump in the semi. We'll drive it back out here, and we'll take a look at it and make sure that it looks pretty good for us. All right, I got both the tractors back. Let's give this a shot here. I think this is going to be perfect, man. I'm just looking at the size of this one and the turning radius and everything. I think this is going to be exactly what we needed, man. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of room. That's perfect. That is perfect. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's awesome. Alright, so really the only main things left to do now, gang, is to bring the bring the skid steer back. Move some of those pallets out of the way of the mill. And we're good, man. Yeah, that's perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. That's what I was wanting to do. So that is great, man. That is great. I love that. I just gotta be careful with my turning radius there. I'm going a little bit too fast in the turns, and I can't get it to turn back the other way fast enough after I've done the turn. So we spent a decent chunk of change there doing that, but I think it was worth it, man. I really do. Overall, I think that's a better approach, a better look. Alright, so let's grab this. I'm actually going to bring back 3 of these bales with me, if it'll let me do it. Probably going to topple them over, honestly, when I go over the bump up coming up here, but that's alright. We'll see what we can do. We'll just bring these back. That's 3 less we have to do. And then we can move those pallets out of the way, and then I think we'll probably call it. Okay, that bump was pretty brutal there, gang. I got very, very lucky that they did not fall. They jumped way up in the air, and I was going very, very slow. I mean, very slow. Alright, so that's done. So now we just need to move some of these pallets out of the way. Really, just the flower pallets are the most concerned one right now. I'm not really sure where to put them. I kind of put the winch in the way there, didn't I? Put the winch in the worst spot possible. I don't know what I was thinking there. That was dumb of me. Well, we're not really going to be utilizing the winch for a little while anyway, so I might as well just kind of stack it in front of the winch, I guess, for the time being. Now, having said that, I'll probably need the winch before we sell these. That's just the way my luck will go. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but at least some of them are moving now, so that's a good thing, right? At least the flour is moving, I guess is how I should put it. At least the flour is actually producing stuff. That the actual mill's producing flour. Let's see if another one of these canola oils pop out. I'm just going to try to stack them on top of each other if it does. Anytime today, Mill, that would be great. All right. All right, that's good. They're gonna start producing now. So I'll just get the rest of this canola oil out of the way, and then we should be good at least till the next episode. We can move some more, maybe next episode as well, just so we can keep it going. I wish there was some kind of like an extension or something I could buy that would allow it to be able to store more than it does. You know, put like a shed or something next to it where they would store it. You know, something like that. But yeah, not the case, unfortunately. Okay. With that, gang, we're going to leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you smash the like and the subscribe button on the case you have yet to do so. Both of those things help me out an absolute ton. You have no idea how much they help me. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. That helps me out as well. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. If you're interested in that, as always, there's a link down below. Early access to videos like this one, among numerous other perks. There's also a Discord link down below. Just like I always say, everything you need, it's always down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your continued support. And we'll see you in the next one.